What's up guys? Hi, I am Jaspreet Arora and I teach you that how you can increase your score in your IELTS examination. So today we will talk about that how you have to greet your examiner when you go for this IELTS speaking examination. So when you go for this face-to-face interview, what you have to do and what steps you need to take to greet the examiner perfectly so that you create a good first impression when you enter the examination room. So as soon as you enter the room where the examiner is sitting, you have to make sure that you have to do every single thing right so that you create a connect with the examiner there, and so that that connect will follow in your part 1, 2, 3 in your speaking examination as well. So let's start this video and I will tell you that what things that you have to take care of, what things that you have to do perfectly so that you create a good first impression on the examiner. So as soon as you enter the room, you have to make sure that you have 3 things at that particular time. You are dressed properly, you have a passport in your hand, and you have a smile on your face. You have to have these 3 things so that as soon as you enter the room, the examiner gets to know that you are pretty much prepared for the examination and that you are going to rock in there. After you enter the room, the examiner will ask you to have a seat. And as soon as you have the seat, the examiner will introduce himself or herself. So we are taking himself here. We are taking the word John for the examiner. So the examiner might say that, "Good morning, my name is John. Can I have your full name, please?" So in this case, you have 2 ways to answer. Either you can say that, "Good morning, John. My name is Jaspreet Arora." Or you can say that, "Good morning, John. I am Jaspreet Arora." So either way, the answer is right. So you can use either of these ways to answer this question. But 2 or 3 things to remember here, that if the examiner is asking for your full name, so you have to tell your full name here. Some people do not actually tell the full name. So if the examiner is asking that, "Good morning, I am John. What is your full name?" So you do not have to say that I am Jaspreet, not just Jaspreet. The examiner is asking for your full name. So you make sure that you tell the first name and your last name as well. So the second thing to remember here is that you have to focus on the name of the examiner as well. So when the examiner is introducing himself, so when he's saying that, "Good morning, my name is John," or whatever is the name, so you have to make sure that you listen the name properly and you use the name while you are giving your speaking examination as well. So if the examiner is saying that my name is John, or if the examiner is saying that my name is Alex, or whatever the name is, or if the examiner is saying that my name is Jolene or whatever, so you have to make sure that you know the exact name of the examiner and you call the examiner by that name itself. So you do not have to use any titles here. So when you're calling a person, you do not use Mr., Miss, Sir, Ma'am, nothing. In the speaking examination, you have to call the examiner by name. So if the name is John, you just call John. So of course, we are giving the respect to the examiner, and you have to show that you are giving the respect. So you do not have to tell that you are respecting him by attaching a title in the front of the name. You do not have to do that. So you make sure that you listen to the name of the examiner properly as well. So the second question that the examiner will ask is that, "What can I call you?" In this case, you just have to tell your first name here, nothing else. So you can just easily tell the examiner that, "John, you can call me Jaspreet," or "John, just call me Jaspreet," or something like, "John, I like being called Jaspreet," so you can just go ahead with that. So you can use the simple language here. You can just tell your first name. If you think that your first name is difficult, then you can use a little short form of that. You can use any short name, any short English name in that case as well. So if you think that your name is large, if your name is a little difficult to pronounce, so you can say that, "John, you can just call me Jem," or "John, just call me Jane," or "John, just call me Preet," or something like that, or whatever your name is. So you just make a little word out of that. You just make a little word out of your name, and you can just tell the examiner to call you by that name as well. So you just have to make sure that if your first name is easy, if it is easily pronounceable, so you can just tell that, "John, you can call me by first name, that is Jaspreet." You just have to tell them, "Just call me Jaspreet," something like that. So you do not have to exaggerate anything here. The third question the examiner will ask is that, "Where are you from?" or "Where have you come from?" So in this case, you have to tell the examiner the name of your city, and you have to elaborate something here. You have to elaborate your answer a little bit here, but you do not have to exaggerate anything. Many people tell a lot of stories. Many people start telling like 3 or 4 sentences to the examiner, which does not create a good impact. So when the examiner is asking you that where are you from, you can just tell the name of your city and you can just tell like 3 or 4 words by max, or just a little small sentence in addition to that. So for an example, if we say that I am from Ahmedabad and Ahmedabad is the capital of Gujarat, this could be one of the examples. Or you can say that, John, I am from Udaipur and it is also known as City of Lakes. So you do not have to say that I am from Udaipur, it is the City of Lakes. Recently I have written an article in which it is written that Udaipur is one of the best cities to stay in the world. Nothing. You just have to tell the city name and elaborate a little. You just tell that I am from Udaipur, it is called the City of Lakes. Or you just tell that I am from Udaipur, it is in Rajasthan. Simple answer and simple elaboration. So the last thing that the examiner will ask you would be for your identification. The examiner will ask for your identification just to check your ID proof there. So you just have to present your identification in front of the examiner, and you have to do that in a very pleasant way. I'll tell you here how you do that. So you just have to present the passport to the examiner, and you can use 2 of these words, adding a little information. One word will be of course, and the second word will be sure. So you can use either of these 2 words. You can either say that of course, there you go. Or you can say that sure, here it is, or something like that. So even if you do not want to use there you go or here it is, you just say of course or sure. But you make sure that you're pronouncing these words right. That is of course. So if in the spelling that is of course is not the right pronunciation. The native pronunciation is of course. So of course. And it is sure. So some people call sure or sure. Sure is the more common one. So you have to make sure that you pronounce the word sure like sure. It is sure. So you pronounce this word right and you use either of these words. You can just simply say that of course and present the passport. Sure, present the passport. Use either of these 2 things and you present the passport to the examiner as well. So these are the 4 questions that the examiner will ask you before taking the part 1. So this is the part 0, right? So you have to do these 4 things. You have to answer these 4 questions accordingly, like I have told you, so that you create a first good impression on the examiner. Plus now I have 4 simple tips for you that you have to follow in your entire speaking examination. That would not be just limited to part 0. So you have to use these 4 tips in your entire examination so that you score well and you create a good impression. So the first tip is that you have to be specific. By specific, what I mean is that you have to be specific in your answer. So for whichever question you are answering, your answer should be specific. So if you have asked for your name, you just tell that my name is Jaspreet Arora, that is specific. If you are asked from where you have come from, your city name, little elaboration, that is specific. You have to be specific in your answers. The second tip is that you have to speak pleasantly while giving your interview. So by pleasantly, what I mean is that your voice should easily reach the ears of the examiner and can also record in the sound recorder that's kept there. But it should not be either too loud, it should not be either too low as well. So your voice should be perfect in terms of the pitch that you are having. The third thing is that you have to have this confidence. So from the moment that you enter the room till the time that you have exited the room, you have to make sure that you spread out confidence in the room. So you do not have to be nervous for anything. You be confident. It is just a human that is sitting in front of you. That is just another human being. So you have to be comfortable with the human being so that you can make them feel better. You can make them feel comfortable so that you in return get the better grades. And the last and the most important tip is that you have to have a smile on your face, like I am having now. So by smiling, we connect with one human, we connect with each other. And by smiling, I am 100% sure that when you spread out the smile in the room, definitely the examiner will be more comfortable with you. Definitely you will have the first good impression. Definitely your exam will go perfectly because that's exactly what you want. So I hope that you have liked my video as well. So if you have liked that, press the like button, go to my channel, subscribe to my channel as well, and tell me about your feedbacks. So you post in comments what all videos do you want me to create. So I will create more videos on those topics as well. I keep on creating more. I make videos every single week. So you go up to my channel, you see my videos as well, and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for all your love here. Thank you so much and have an awesome day. Thank you.